This is your boy Randy Gonzalez Jr. coming at you with another episode of Mind the Mind. I'm super excited for especially today's episode. You guys are going to be filled actually with an amazing treat. So I've actually brought into the studio not only a good friend, but gosh, I almost feel like a brother, even though we have different mothers, different fathers, a different family anyways, none other than Michael Mueller. And Mike I've known for about 20 years, literally. I've seen him go from a kid to an amazing man who has an amazing family, and he's doing amazing things within the world of solar. And we're going to actually talk about that today. So without further ado, let's freaking rock and roll, because why? You freaking deserve it. Mike, man, welcome to Mind, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Nice. So Mike, let's give the audience some kind of our background before we get into all the meat and potatoes, and if you're vegan, the tofu and celery sticks.
Right.
So cool. So Mike, when we first met, you were 21 years old.
Yes, sir.
Your snotty nose, you had wax in your ears. I don't know what it was, but anyways, guys, you gotta understand he's a really good friend. But we're gonna have fun, just lay low today. But tell me, what was it like when you first got started? I know you went to college. Mm-hmm. What was it like when you knew you wanted to go out and be an entrepreneur?
It was awesome. Yeah, I had a good friend of mine, give me a book about entrepreneurship, and I read it in a day, and I just knew I wanted to do something different.
And what book was that?
It was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad by Mr. Kiyosaki, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's actually been a pretty popular book amongst a lot of our guests. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, nice. And what was it about the book that really stood out to have you go from average to fortune?
It's just information that had never been shared with me before.
Okay.
And I was just grateful to have it, so I wanted to share it with other people too.
Okay, nice. And then how did it transition to your next step and next phase in life?
Sure. So I started looking at business opportunities that I could do while I was in school, and I found a couple different great options, and I went with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So what he's saying for you folks, of those of you that are just getting out of school, or maybe you're already in school, is definitely seek out. There's other things out there besides what the professors are teaching you folks. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying keep your eyes open, all right?
Absolutely.
Cool. So now here's an interesting thing. When we first got connected, I was actually doing a promotion for a network marketing company. And I had a huge promotion going on for my entire team. I said, if you guys hit a certain rank, we're going to do an amazing dinner in the Bay Area. I'm going to have us get picked up from a limousine, a nice stretch, and it's going to be awesome. And all of a sudden, one of the guys that had qualified, our good friend Oscar, he says, "Hey, Randy, I've got Mike that just came in from Illinois. Can he come with us?" And I'm like, "Who's Mike?" And did he earn it? So anyways, yeah. We felt bad for you to kind of be out there on your own, coming all the way from Illinois, because something drew you to come from Illinois to California.
Absolutely, yeah.
What was it?
Well, Oscar's the one that actually gave me the book, so thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, if Oscar, you're watching this, brother, you the man. I think Mike probably made me over $150,000 in a lifetime earning, so thank you, Oscar.
Yeah,
lunch is always good on me, Oscar.
And he's done really good things on his side with entrepreneurship as well.
Yeah, totally.
Started a couple businesses and done some things in real estate, and
yeah.
So he's helped mentor me a lot, and I just trusted him. That's really what it came down to. Is
what did he say that made a difference?
He just said, "Hey, look, this is a great opportunity. I've been doing it. I've been working with Randy. I've made some money, and that's what I was looking for. I still wanted to receive my education in school. I didn't quit school or anything at that time. I just was looking for a way to make money while I was going to school.
Yeah,
that was it. So I trusted Oscar. I trusted his experience, and I came out, and it was a great decision."
Okay, nice. So for somebody who's looking, for instance, maybe as an entrepreneurial endeavor, and we'll get into solar here in just a minute, what advice would you give them starting off? What are top 3 things they should be doing?
Just understand that failure is part of the process. Don't get flustered or upset because it doesn't work out the first time. Just, expect to fail, expect delays. There's going to be a lot of delays, and that's okay. It's part of the process. That's how you grow. That's how you learn.
I like that. Failure is part of the process.
Absolutely, 100%
What's
of the
another
time.
thing? What's another thing? Come
And
on.
then
We're minding the mind today. We're getting some gold nuggets out of this little head.
Yeah, and then and like I said, expect delays. There's gonna be delays in your success. There'll be delays in the success of people that you're around. Maybe some of your mentors.
I heard Tony Robbins once put it: God's delays are not His denials.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, God's
cool.
timing is perfect. So
Cool.
just like Bruce Lee said, be water. Just go with it. Like, be the cup, be the water, whatever.
I'm all about the water, brother. Give me some little alkaline water. Game on.
Rock and
okay,
roll.
what's one more thing?
And then take your time. Like, don't rush with anything. There's not a rush. There's trillions of dollars out there. There's billions of opportunities. So you don't need to rush into something. If somebody's trying to sell you on, hey, you got to do this right now because the opportunity is going away, that's not true. If you miss out on one opportunity, there's going to be 100 million other ones right behind it. So just take your time and trust the process.
Yeah, and then what are some good books that you've read or listened to that really inspired you to get to where you're at? Now, so for those of you that you don't know, I've worked with Mike for many years, mentored Mike. God, I feel like I should get a Father's Day card from Mike.
Sure.
But he's done in business. He's done millions and millions of dollars in his field. Like literally, I don't even know how many millions of dollars. Yeah. Quite a few.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
But the cool thing is I remember when he was afraid to say two words together. He was like, what was that guy from the cartoons, Yosemite Sam? He's like, and he would stutter. He would stutter over every other word, and I'm like, dude, just like say hi. Yeah. What's a stranger, a friend you haven't met yet? And today. Sure. He has the ability to actually connect with people with ease, and that's what it is. He's not struggling for the process. It's become an easy process, just like breathing, just like eating, just like walking, just like anything else that you do on a normal basis. It became second nature to him. So how did you adapt and go from afraid Mike to powerful Mike?
Yeah, so really it was just practice. Honestly, just like anything else. I mean, I'm sure anybody that's played any sport or picked up any instrument. I've got 5 kids, and they weren't obviously 100% confident when they started swimming or when they started taekwondo or soccer or basketball or anything else. Chess. Yeah. They're amazing at chess.
Nice.
They didn't know anything about chess. Yeah, they're really, really good. So, it's just time and expecting to fail. Once I understood that failure was okay, I didn't worry about it as much.
Right.
And so, I learned to talk to a lot of people, and not everybody wanted to hear what I had to say.
Did anybody in your life ever push you outside your comfort zone to get there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you taught me a lot about entrepreneurship and just talking to people.
What did I do to get you out of your comfort zone? Maybe that's what they want to hear.
Well, I watched you in your process and how you grew, and I just listened and I learned from what you were doing. And then after I watched, you asked me to go out and do it myself, and that's how I learned. So
that concept's actually called mirrored and modeled. Okay. So you mirrored and modeled, and then who were some of your mirrored and modeling people that you had throughout your life?
Oh man, there's so many of them. I mean, there's just nowadays anybody, you can model anybody. I mean, it could be Robert Kiyosaki, anybody you want to model. It doesn't matter. It could be a cook that you want to learn how to cook, right? It just doesn't matter. We've got all this technology now. You can model anyone and do what they're doing. It's not hard. Yeah. Okay. So
nice. Do you see your kids modeling you?
Yeah. Their mother's a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah,
so they model her more.
Thank God for that.
So I'm blessed with that. But yes, absolutely, that's what kids do, right?
Nice. Okay. So another thing, because I know you were really adamant and going to college because that's when you first got started. But a lot of times we find out today that college is not the end all be all. I know more people that are successful today without even going to college. I think college is great for networking. Sure. I think college is great for making lifelong connections, but I don't think on an economical level it's the best option for most people because everybody knows that I do business loans and I do credit repair. And one of the biggest things I see on there is student loans.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these people that have issues with their credit are paying for a student loan and getting a degree, and they're working in a field entirely separate
Sure.
that they spent 4 years, some 6 years, because they changed their major in a field that has nothing to do with what they spent that time of their life.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's kind of crazy how that actually works out.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm not of the mindset of, and I'm not saying you're anti-college, but that was one of the things you asked about what helped me get out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely school helped me do that. I joined different organizations that I wasn't, familiar with. I joined a fraternity. I just learned how to interact with people that weren't like me. Right. So, but no, you're right. There's, you can spend a lot of money on a degree that you may not end up using in your life. So you just, again, take your time, expect delays, don't rush into it. Maybe go to a junior college and take a couple business courses, whatever you want to learn about. I think in California you can go to junior college for free, right? Like you do your pre-liquor. What do you call them? Prereqs?
Pre-liquor, yeah. Friday night study, folks.
Yeah, so unless you're planning on being like my roommate in college, Jeremy, he's a doctor. So obviously, he took his time. He knew what he wanted to do, though. He knew that from the very beginning. So he did 4 years of undergraduate, went on to med school and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes perfect sense for someone like that.
Totally.
But just take your time and, don't be afraid to fail. I've been to 3 different colleges and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So let's dive into this field that we talk about the importance of the sun. The sun seems to be a big topic because it's going to come out. I think there's a movie, even Annie, that said the sun will come out tomorrow. That's great for people in solar. That's what we're talking about today, folks. So today's special topic is how can the sun actually support you and your family in a major way? So let's talk about this solar industry. What the heck is it? How does it work for those that are not involved in it yet?
Sure.
What things that they can look at? So kind of break it down for our audience.
Yeah, so it's simple. When all the houses were built in California, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, whatever it may be, most of those homes were automatically connected to their local utility company.
Correct.
People wanted to have lights, obviously. And that was the only choice at that time. And that's all changed now because solar companies have developed a process where you can get all of your power and even more from the sun. And it's a lot less expensive than what you would normally pay to a utility company. And I'll stop there and I'll say I'm not anti-utility companies.
Okay.
I have a lot of customers that are executives at the major utility companies here in California. I have a lot of customers that work for those companies. They're still solar customers of mine. So, those companies have provided a living for their families.
Totally.
I'm not anti-utility. I'm a big supporter of renewable energy and solar. And so, I heard somebody say the other day, it's crazy that we call solar and wind alternative energy. It's not alternative. It is this source of energy, right?
No doubt,
so,
no doubt.
The traditional way of getting power is more alternative when you consider all the infrastructure that has to go into it.
Right.
Whereas the sun just comes out, you got panels and you have a little bit of equipment, but nothing like what it takes to make power over here and then transport it all the way over here.
Right. So I understand the importance of like the green energy, things like that, and how everything runs through the certain system and kind of so to speak, you're creating your own energy because it's coming from the sun. How safe is it though?
It's incredibly safe.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Again, I'm not anti-utility. I'm going to say that a couple times, but there have been a lot of issues with the traditional way of making power.
Right.
And so I think I've been in the solar industry since 2012. I haven't. None of my customers have had any issues with safety.
Okay. Let's talk about economics now.
Okay.
Somebody gets a bill. They get their utility bill depending on where they're at. Out here in San Diego, it's SDG&E. Up north, it's PG&E. Wherever you're at, who knows what the company utility power company is. What's the process if someone says, okay, let me see the pros and cons. Could this serve me? Could it not serve me? What should somebody be looking for, especially if they're looking to take care of their family? Because I understand that solar, it's an investment, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So So the number one important thing to understand is that solar is not free. You're going to hear a lot of people tell you, hey, I got this free system, I got this free, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you may not have had to pay for some things up front, but you're still going to pay for something.
Okay.
Right? Just like anything.
Right.
And so, it's not free. You're still going to have an electricity bill. In an ideal situation, the solar system will produce 100% of what your family needs, and then maybe 10, 15, 20% more.
Okay.
That's the best case scenario, but you'll still receive a monthly bill from your utility company, and there's going to be a small connection charge, is what I call it, maybe usually between $10 to $12. So you may pay $120 a year still to your utility company in an ideal situation.
Okay.
But yeah, there's still some expenses to it, but you can do it for very little money out of pocket.
So let's say somebody's first process, they say, okay, let me see if this is going to help my family. What do they do first? They just pop out their bill and say, here, look at it. I mean, what does somebody do?
Yeah. So again,
for those of you that don't already have it, this is the time to pay attention.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I want to stress that solar is an important financial decision.
Okay.
Just like buying a house or sending your kids to college.
Right.
It's not something that you want to rush through. You want to
Okay.
take your time, expect delays. There's going to be a lot
Delays.
of
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then one thing that I really am grateful for that I don't want to say the state of California per se, but the California Public Utilities Commission has done is they've created a forum called the California Solar Protection Guide. And it's 24 pages, which sounds like a book.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's very informative.
Okay.
And I personally I send it to every one of my customers before they even sign a contract. It's
Okay.
the first thing that they see. It's the first thing that I ask them to review.
What's the importance of that?
Well, it's basically the CPUC saying, hey, here's your rights, Randy. You need to know how solar works, and they've done all that work for you.
Right.
And so you don't have to be misled by someone that tells you, hey, you're going to miss out on the tax credit, or you got to do it today. You got to sign a contract today. All that's nonsense. Like, take your time.
Right.
And it's a very important document, and I suggest that everybody start there.
Okay.
Read that first, and then, do your research, get your bills together. You share a bill with a couple different contractors and let them go to work for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if somebody let's say they wanted to move forward in the process, they provide the bill, you do an analysis, what it'll take, what it can lower their bill like. How we're talking long term, or are we talking like a short term? What kind is the aspect of somebody as they get solar, where they can expect to utilize those panels, so to speak? Because I'm talking technology, of course.
Yeah. So you're asking about what's the timeline involved with solar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, step one, I would suggest reading the California Solar Protection Guide, then provide a utility bill to a couple different contractors, and then what they're going to do is put together a savings proposal for you.
Okay.
They're also going to create a CAD design, which is basically a preliminary design to tell you what solar might look like on your house and how energy efficient that system's going to be.
Okay.
And then they'll come back to you and say, hey, here's what I got for you, Randy. Here's what you could potentially save. This is what it might look like on your house. What questions do you have? And they'll take it from there.
Okay. So once that portion's done, let's say, okay, they're going to move forward. How long does the process take for them to actually get installed and have them flip the switch?
Yeah, so the honest answer is it depends. It depends.
Oh, no, here we go.
It depends on how good your sales rep is.
Okay.
Or contractor. It
Right.
depends on how good their company is.
Okay.
I will say this, there's a lot of turnover in the industry.
Yeah.
The industry blew up overnight, and a lot of companies had to hire quickly. But, you would know better than I wouldn't, but from what I understand, there's a lot of turnover in real estate too. People just kind of dabble in it. They want to become an agent, make a couple, and they find out that it's harder than what they thought.
Yeah, totally.
And then, solar's the same way. There's been a lot of turnover. Fortunately for me, I've been doing this since 2012, and I've learned a lot of good things. So, but yes, it depends. It could go very quickly, or it could take a couple months. It really just depends on what's going on with your sales rep, the solar company.
On average.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody gets there, then they have to get together with the contractors.
Sure.
They have to sign, the paperwork.
Yeah.
They got to get inspections done. They've got to get the actually installers to install.
Yep.
Then they've got to basically get it turned on. What's an average time frame somebody can expect? Just an average ballpark.
30 to 60 days.
30 to 60
if
days.
everything's
Okay.
perfect. If you don't have to do anything to the roof or in the attic to prepare the house, if you don't have to do an electrical panel upgrade, 30 to 60 days on average is probably what you're looking at.
Okay.
There might be some other companies that just boom, it just flies through. But like I said, expect delays. You're going to have delays in the solar process.
So 30, 60 days. Sweet. Any other specific information that someone should actually look at? Like, who's representing them or who they should go to? What should somebody look for in one of their consultants that's going to be selling solar?
Yeah, so if you're my sales consultant and you're in my house, I would ask you about the background of your company. Yeah. How long have they been around? How long have you been doing solar?
Yeah.
Are you even from Southern California? Where are you from? Are you from New York? Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Like,
okay.
They might just be there for a couple weeks and then gone. And
right.
To something
I'm
else.
not from Canada. Role play,
I am.
Little role play.
No, I'm not Drake.
He's down here working on his suntest.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the perfect place. So, yeah, no, it's, ask them to see their license. So every solar sales representative should have a California.
What if they're like in Nevada, Colorado, Virginia?
Same situation.
So same thing. So they have to be licensed.
Yes,
so,
yes. Every state should require the sales reps to be licensed. If you're going, it's a major financial decision. It's going to be on your house for a long time.
Right.
The system's going to. It's not a car, right? I think you have to be licensed to sell cars too, right? So if you have to be licensed to sell a car, you definitely should have to be licensed to sell solar.
Nice.
That's just my opinion. I don't know how every city and state works, but in California, that's how it works.
Nice. And on average, what do you think the savings is for somebody? Because obviously there's investments that they look, because I heard that it does make the value of your house go up.
It can. Sure.
It can?
Yeah, absolutely could.
It can save you money on your utility bill every month.
Absolutely, it could.
Any other key points that probably can help an individual
make
that decision?
So just there's different contracts out there. There's lots of different financial options. Just like if you were getting a loan for a house, there's tons of different solar options. I would ask your advisor, is the price that you're giving me today, is that going to change? Like, you've heard of loan prices changing, right?
Right, every day.
It might start here and then you go up 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So look for that in your contract, and then make sure that the price is solid and get some competitive quotes.
Right. Yeah. What about credit? What type of credit are people looking at to get, maybe approved to have a solar project done?
Yeah, for sure. So again, it depends on which company you're going with.
Right.
But, on average, I think most companies are looking, for a decent FICO score, especially if you're going to do a loan, because you might be borrowing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000.
Right.
So the loan provider wants to make sure that you're available, you're capable of paying that back.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are those? Sometimes people add those battery packs. What are those things? I have no clue what those are.
Yeah. So, batteries are awesome. The technology.
Like a proton pack in the garage or something.
Yeah, the technology has definitely gotten better over the years, just like solar or anything else. And so traditionally, if you do solar and you don't have a battery and the power goes out, your power is out just like everybody else on your block. And I don't think a lot of people understood that. But now you can add a battery to your system, which is phenomenal. The power goes out. It works just like a generator.
Oh, wow.
The main difference is that you don't have to start it up. You're not going to smell it. You're not going to hear it. And, in an ideal situation, it's not going to run out of power because the sun comes out every morning, right?
Right.
And as the battery drains, it's going to be recharged by the sun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah, and
recharge your battery.
Yeah, and not everybody needs a battery. It's not for everybody. Just like solar's not for everybody.
Totally.
Honestly, I'm a little bit biased. It would be awesome if solar was for everybody, but it's not for every consumer out there. It's not for every home.
Okay, so let's narrow down anything else you want to talk about as far as solar goes for people looking how they can capitalize on the L energy.
Yeah. So the other thing that I would consider is, what's going to happen with your lifestyle, right? We're talking about technology. What's the big changes right now in technology, right? Electric cars.
Right.
There's
Which is huge. I think it's going to be a lot more electric cars in the future too.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, when you're working with a consultant and they're designing your system, make sure that you share with them what your future lifestyle may be. You might be putting in a new pool or a hot tub. Maybe you're getting 2 electric cars. So they need to compensate for what your future usage is going to be. Otherwise, you're going to be in a hybrid situation where you may be getting a majority of your power from solar, but you're still owing the your local electrical company maybe a large amount of money at the end of the year if you don't plan accordingly.
Now, what type of typically when people have different home structures like their roof, is there any specific type of roofs that it's harder to do or it's not recommended or anything like that? Or?
Not anymore. It was back in the day when I first started doing solar back in 2012. It was just composition shingle.
Okay.
That's all we did, and that was a little bit of a frustration for me because my first year, I think I had 156 clients do solar, and it could have definitely been 200 or more.
Yeah.
But we only did one type of roof at that time.
Okay.
And that was actually smarter of that company at that time to start with one, because it's a hard process to learn.
Right.
I didn't see it like that at that time, but they were right. So, but no, not nowadays. Companies can install on lots of different roofs, but not every roof's going to qualify for solar.
Okay.
You may need to get a new roof first before you do solar, and there are solar companies that will help take care of that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about as far as solar that we missed or think that would be helpful for somebody looking?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go back to what I originally started with. Take your time. You don't need to rush. It's going to be on your roof for a long time. Just trust the process and know that there's going to be delays from the start to the finish. And pick a solar consultant that's going to be there for you in the long haul, because you're going to have a lot of questions. You're going to have more questions than you had on day one as the process continues to go. And a good consultant is going to be available. They're going to get back to you. They're going to answer your questions, and they're going to want your business for maybe your rental property, maybe a second home that you have. They're going to want you to refer their friends and family. That 156 installs that I did, most of those were referrals.
Oh, wow.
And so you want to look for someone that's going to be around and that's going to want to work with your friends and family.
Okay. Nice. So let's go ahead and start narrowing this down.
Okay.
Brother, let's go to one of my questions I have written for you is,
all right,
what does freedom mean to you?
What does freedom mean to me?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great question. Well, like I said, I have 5 kids, so freedom.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything. Let's wrap
I don't even know what that means.
Let's wrap this up, folks. We're all
out. We're done.
Take off the mic.
Yeah.
The bottom mic.
No, I've been married for 15 years. We have 5 kids. They're amazing. So, yeah, I mean, freedom to me is those days where I can wake up and I can just spend time with my kids, make them breakfast. That's one of the things I love.
What do you cook for them?
Eggs. That's all I know.
Man, I've showed you how to make a burrito. You put the tortilla.
I've actually advanced to
Salsa?
pancakes.
Okay.
And that's only because my kids taught me how to do it.
Yeah. Do you make all the special pancakes like the Mickey Mouse ears,
bro.
blueberries, banana, smiley face?
No.
What?
No,
man.
No, if it gets butter and some syrup.
Imagine doing that 5. You're gonna have to do an assembly line. Okay,
Yeah.
Kid 1
Yeah,
gone. Kid 2
Exactly.
gone.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's
No,
awesome.
But yeah, no, that's freedom to me, is just spending time with my family. That's the most important thing, right? Is nobody goes into the solar business or your business or any other business other than to provide for their families, really. So that's
Totally.
The solar means freedom to me. Being able to choose who you can get your power from, that's huge. Nobody ever used to be able to do that. I remember you grew up in Stockton, right?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Tracy,
209.
California. Yeah, I'm in the 209 too. People didn't have a choice. A lot of people struggled from where we're from, right?
Yeah.
And back then it's like, hey, if you didn't pay your power bill, it gets shut off. You didn't have a choice.
Right.
You just paid what you had to pay. But now people have lots of options, so that's freedom to me. And yeah, it's been a blessing to my family. And one of the one of the joys that I have in this business is really being able to help people. Not everybody needs solar. Some people just do it for the environment. But being able to help people free up $100, $200 a month, that's $200 changes people's lives, some people's lives.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, that's what I love about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Cool. So what I'm going to do, man, thanks for, educating our audience on the solar.
Yeah, thanks for the
I
opportunity.
figured if I want to bring somebody on and talk about a specific subject, I want to bring some of the best in the industry, and that's why I
I'm the
brought
best.
you on.
Just
Okay,
letting you know.
okay.
Don't bring anybody else on. I got you.
He doesn't know how to make Mickey Mouse pancakes.
It's all right. I got kids for that.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go over what I call as rapid fire questions. Okay?
Roger that. Yeah, let's
So
go.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to say one word.
Okay.
And I want you to pick one word, the first thing that pops in your head.
Dang.
Just anything. Okay.
All right,
You ready?
Let's go.
Question number.
Just one word?
Just one word.
Just one word.
One word.
Rapid
I may
fire.
have a 2-word, but you have your response has to be
You want
one
me
word
to give you one word?
that represents that to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay?
Roger that.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
First thing that pops in your mind. Number 1, sales,
Sales. Money.
personal development,
Money.
love.
Money.
That's all we have for today, folks. We're done. Okay, food, money. Okay. He's got 5 kids, folks. Money. Okay, so we got financing. Money.
No, opportunity, honestly. The opportunity with all of those. So,
Okay, one word.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, financing,
Financing? Time.
credit,
Time.
work ethic,
Time.
energy,
Got it. No.
win.
Win? Like wind?
Yeah,
Like
no,
blowing in the wind?
win, like
Win.
like win.
Like W-H-E-N win?
No, like
Or I'm gonna win like
W,
Rocky.
like W-I-N.
Like win, like the Randy.
Yes, that's me. Yeah, win.
Randy.
No, that's winner. Winner. Okay. Okay. How about victory?
Victory? God.
Defeat.
Good.
Lose.
Good.
Health.
Blessing.
Spirituality.
Spirituality. Let's circle back to that one.
One word.
Good.
Okay. And the last one is journaling.
Journaling. Time.
Nice. And where, if our people wanted to have more information or if they had questions about your specific topic of how to raise 5 kids and not know how to make Mickey Mouse pancakes, how can somebody find you online? Do you have a certain way or somebody can reach you?
Honestly, I mean, I know that's the way of doing it nowadays, but I'm kind of old school. Just call me.
Okay.
Call me. Let's have a conversation. We can talk about it. And I'm a no pressure kind of guy. If it's not for you, or I don't think it's for you, I'll just tell you. There's a big blue ocean of solar opportunities out there.
Right. So what I'm going to do, folks, for those of you that want to actually connect with Mike,
Yeah.
I'm going to put his information in the description so you can go out and reach with him.
Yeah.
I personally can vouch for Mike. I've known him for about 20 years now. It's been crazy. It's like we grew up together. We were just kids trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
we Taco Bell was like our jam back in the day. Like, let's split that burrito. Because we some broke kids. We've come a long way.
Yeah,
so.
bro. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
So there'll be the description down there for you guys to actually reach out and connect with them.
Yeah.
And then just what I want to do right now is I want to reflect on some of the information we talked about that I think is going to be valuable for our people, especially when they're getting these ideas and they're turning them into the reality. They're turning into concepts. They're turning them into homes or a lifestyle or a future or a savings or a family. So the one thing we talked about was failure is just part of the process.
It is.
You know, a lot of times I think people are afraid to take chances, but they don't understand that if you're a scientist, you got to do experimentation. Not everything you do is going to work out perfectly.
Sure.
You got to adjust, and when you're flying, it's mid-air corrections. You're going to get a gust of wind. So failure is part of the process. Number 2 was expect delays, and we talked about, God's delays are sometimes his denials. Maybe there's something you have to learn, a concept that you have to master,
Sure.
a skill set that you have to put in your arsenal to help you to become a better individual, whether you're a man, a woman, a child, learning how to play chess. I don't even know how to play chess, dude.
Yeah. Well, one of the people I really admire is Tom Brady. There's a lot of haters out there, but he just won his seventh Super Bowl.
His 10th appearance in a Super Bowl, and he's won 7 of them.
Exactly, and I think if you reached out to Tom and had a conversation with him, you think about some of the failures that he's had to go through. He hasn't won every Super Bowl that he's been in, right? I watched a documentary about him. He went to Michigan. He wasn't the number 1 picked quarterback. There were some delays.
Right.
He had to get some help. But look, he's on top of the world right now.
Exactly.
He'll probably go out and win another Super Bowl. Maybe he'll do it with another team.
Yeah, who knows?
But,
who needs help nowadays?
Yeah, exactly. He went through failure, and he had delays, and he worked through it, and he's the greatest quarterback, probably football player, maybe athlete ever. So,
yeah, even if you're a hater, you still got to say, dang. He's good.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm with you.
What's up, Tom? Call me. Get some solar.
And then number 3 we talked about is trust the process.
Yes.
I think there's something important to understanding where faith is huge. And I'm not here going to be preaching to everybody, but I think there's a huge concept of faith that I think more people have to dive into when they're pursuing anything in life.
Okay.
They're pursuing a career. They're pursuing an income opportunity. They're pursuing a better life. They're pursuing a mate.
Yeah.
Like a significant other, a family. I think that comes in to trust the process.
Absolutely.
It's all a process.
It really is. Perfect timing.
And then the next thing you talked about was mirrored modeling. Model other people that are successful, that are doing things that you want to be doing.
For sure.
The importance of finding mentors. I talk about this a lot. One of my mentors taught me this. You can learn either through mentors or mistakes. I advise mentors. It's less painful, and you can probably go further and faster a lot quicker.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then when we're talking about the solar portion, somebody's going to get their bill. They're going to reach out with their rep. They're going to get a proposal, and if they move forward, sometimes it takes on average 60 to 90 days. There could be delays. It could be a little bit longer. It could be a little bit less. And make sure you go with a reputable rep and company, or even a licensed rep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the company's you're gonna want to make sure they're licensed. Make sure your rep's licensed. Find out who's covering your warranties. Yeah. That thing's going to be on your roof for a long time, or your property if you're doing a ground mount. So take your time, do your research. It'll work out if you trust the process and do it the right way.
Right, man. Hey, dude, I seriously thank you for coming, man.
It's been
fun. And I'm sure we're gonna wrap it up right here. And I'm sure as heck our audience does not want to hear about our Mexico trip 15 years ago. Hey. We'll save that for another one.
I'll be back.
And this is a true story. I'm not joking. It's definitely one for comedy night. But
yes, awesome.
But man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I love you, man.
I love you too, brother.
And definitely, I know you're going to be a blessing to more people than you've already been to.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey kids, I love you.
Listen to Dad and Uncle Randy say, hey, if you ever need Mickey Mouse pancakes, call me.
We got this.
I got you. So
I'll Google it.
Well, that's it for today, folks. I just definitely wanted to connect with you guys on the solar industry and understand the important components of it, how it can serve you guys in a major way, and the significance of finding the right partner to. It's kind of like a marriage almost, right?
Yeah,
20 years.
A lot of these principles apply to anything you're doing in life,
right.
Honestly. They really do. No matter what you're buying or what you're doing in life, a lot of these principles apply.
That's awesome. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Until next time, have an amazing day and rock it because you and your family deserve it. Keep living with passion. Until next time, God bless. Be amazing. Love you all. Let's go.